Hello and welcome, my name is Piera and today I'm here with the triple unboxing. So for you today, I have not one, not two, but three Bookish unboxings to get to. I have the Never Never book box, I have the YA Chronicles, and I have Fairy Loot for the month of November. You may have noticed I didn't film any October unboxings just because I wasn't feeling well and I didn't film anything. I filmed I think 2 videos in November, 3 videos maybe, I don't know. But October and November weren't good for anyone, so we're just going to bypass that and get into today's unboxings. So we're going to start with the Never Never book box. The Never Never book box is a monthly subscription box in which every month you receive a new release as well as a bunch of bookish items pertaining to a theme. The first thing we have is obviously the card that has everything that is in it. I love that it comes with this little wax seal. Crack it open. Cool, so the theme for this month is Portal Fantasy, and I hear fantasy and I am already signed the fuck up. Cool, right, so the first thing we have are a bunch of lollipops, literally a bunch of lollipops. There's shit written on them. Potential test, I don't understand what these mean. What? I don't understand. Be tested with these Akane potential detecting lollipops. These delicious candies are inspired by the candy used by the magical school known as Midorian Chronicles. Right, okay, that makes sense. I still haven't read them, so I don't know. Like, do I eat them and then I find something out, or are they just lollipops? Next up, we have Magic in the Mail. It's just an envelope. Explore this interactive story by reading the documents and excerpts, listening to the recording and marveling at the artwork, and piece together what happened in this Australian steampunk adventure. What? Okay, so I've opened it up and there's a lot of paper in it, which I'm already thinking of the trees. But Magic in the Mail, so stories told through letters, objects, and art. So I should, I believe it's called Emmeline's Empire, and it just has like a bunch of like letters and artwork that I guess tell a story. A disc of recordings. So I don't know. I'm not really, it's a little messy to me and I worry about the trees, and like this is something that I won't actually, that I won't read. I'm not a huge steampunk fan. But yeah, I mean, I worry about, like, it's innovative, I'll give it that, but it's the trees. Think of the trees. I say like I don't have a billion dead trees behind me. Emmeline's Empire, and the ebook for this month is Esme's Wish, which is, yep, Portal Fantasy swept off to a different world. Sweating. Alright, so the book for this month is wrapped up in its beautiful packaging, and I'm gonna ruin it by just ripping into it. Nice. Ooh, oh, things are coming out. So the book of the month is The Fray by Emily Dale. She's been trained for battle, but is she ready for war? I feel like those are very similar. Suffering PTSD over what happened to her men overseas. Blah, 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 blah. Monsters. Hot boy. Cool. Queen. I don't know. You also get a letter from the author. I'm gonna look into this one more before I decide if I'm gonna read it, but like, it's a bit of a hit and miss for me. This one I'm not a huge fan of, which is disappointing because it was fantasy. So, I don't know, I mean, like, it'll just end up on my bookshelf, where I will try to get to it at some point in my life. Alrighty, next box is the YA Chronicles. These guys are Australian, so if you're Australian and you're looking for cheap postage, these guys. Fuck yeah. Ooh, what the fuck is that? Alrighty, so the theme for this month is Fierce Females Part 2. Exciting. So the first thing I have is this giant donut-looking motherfucker. It is a sweet cherry soda bubbles double-decker bath bomb bubble bath donut. And now that I have a bath, I can finally use all of these beautiful things that come in bookish boxes. Oh, okay, it's inspired by the Powerpuff Girls. That makes so much sense. Bubbles was actually my favorite. So you can get Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup, I assume. Bubbles was my favorite, although I was definitely a Buttercup. And that is obviously from the guys over at Sweet Cherry Soda, and I'm going to be using that tonight, although I know Jacob is going to want to use half of it. So I'm not going to tell him that I have it. Here is the bookmark for the month, as well as a Muse of Nightmares bookmark. We also have a sneak peek from The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which I actually have a full copy of on my desk, but we're not reading it until I think February for our Name of the Book meet, so I'm like trying to postpone that one because it's a big ass, she's thick. The book of the month is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. This obviously comes after A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which I read and didn't love. So this one I probably won't be reading, so I'm probably going to just use it for a giveaway. We have a letter from the author, as well as The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, which is just an excerpt of, I don't know, but it just begins with, do you mean to tell me that you have not actually fornicated yet? And I'm gonna read it. That's the one I'm gonna read. So, don't know what the book's about, but I'm gonna read this one. Maybe get some tips. So for the YA Chronicles, next up we have Fairy Loot, and this box is heavy, so I have a feeling there is going to be many a thing in it. So, shall we? The theme for this month is battles in galaxies, which concerns me because space. Alrighty, so the first thing we have directly from Fairy Loot is a galaxy bath bomb. And I'm all about these bath bombs now that I can actually finally use them. Ooh! From littleheartsgifts.co.uk, we have Starburst Scent, cruelty-free, vegan-free. Look at that! That shit looks like it's straight from Lush. Next up, we have a Reaper iron-on patch. Reaper, obviously, from Red Rising. I am the Reaper and death is my shadow, which I shit you not is one of my favorite quotes of all time. I have nothing to sew it onto yet, but I do have a denim jacket that I might use. Yes, yes, Red Rising. A wooden, I'm gonna say Christmas tree ornament. A quote from Shakespeare. It says, "It is not in the stars to hold our own destiny, but in ourselves." Next up, we have Mysterious Fairy Loot pouch, which is actually good. What the? Oh, that's handy. 2 metal straws. Obviously metal straws, what we're trying to do instead of plastic straws. Oh, they say things. Reach for the stars and shine bright. That's cool. And obviously like your little cleaner brush because you gotta clean that shit. How exciting. I actually just bought a bunch of metal straws because I'm all about saving the turtles. Very exciting. So now, oh, now I even have a little packet. Fairy Loot exclusive Stars and Space coasters. So, I assume, I mean, you know what a fucking coaster is, Piera. Cool. Alright, so the first one is from Marissa Meyer's Scarlet. It says that she was ready to figure out who she really was, not what anyone else told her to be. Nice. Oh, these are all from the Lunar Chronicles. She dreamed of deep soul connections and passionate kisses and daring escapades. From Cress. None of these books that I have read. Ah, it's a lie, I've read Cinder. Even in the future, the story begins with once upon a time. She would be brave, she would be heroic, she would make her own destiny from winter. Those are cute, I like these colors. I like it, I like it. Simple, blue, all my things. Cute. Next up we have a really gorgeous passport holder. Me, who doesn't use my passport, is still going to use this because that's a really cute print. Next up from Evie Bookish, we have a tote bag inspired by a quote from Illuminate. It says, "Perhaps bravery is simply the face humanity wraps around its madness, its collective madness. It's madness collective, it's collective madness." So finally, we have the book of the month. And, oh, I see some stained edges. That looks like a vagina. Just kidding, I don't know what kind of vaginas you're looking at. Okay, okay, that's unexpected. So the book of the month is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I'm not a huge fan of Sanderson. I've only read like 2 of his books. This one's about space. I'm less likely to read it, but I've actually heard really good things about it, so maybe I'll give this a go as opposed to his fantasy, which would be weird, but the first book in an epic new series about a girl who dreams of becoming a pilot in a dangerous world at war for humanity's future. I might. I don't love the color yellow. I do not love these mustard ass pages, but I might give it a go. I've heard good things about it, so I suppose I can give Sanderson another try. We have a letter from the author. Obviously, I assume these are the 2 lead characters. Cute. And we have Fairy Scoop, which includes an interview with the author, apparently a crossword, and the theme for next month is dragons. It's just straight up dragons, which I'm going to assume that the book will be like Priory of the Orange Tree. That's cool. I'm down for that. That's what I'm here for. That's the content I signed up for. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry it was a bit rushed. I am sweating and about to pass out. If you liked any of those boxes, I will leave my discount codes down below. Please note for Fairy Loot users, my discount code has changed. It is different. It is down the bottom still, but just be careful when you're using it. I mean, not using it, but if you were trying to use the old one, I don't think it's valid anymore. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye!